Welcome back, YouTube. Just picked up a new ride today and we're going to do a little walk around and see what you think of it. Let's go. Sorry about the audio, a little bit windy. There she is, 1.9 petrol double cab. It's a non-synchro, but I think for her age, excellent condition. I certainly wasn't looking to buy this vehicle, but I went to a car show and I saw the gentleman driving in it. It sounded sweet, it looked really tidy for one of these commercial vehicles, and lo and behold, it had a for sale sign on it. So I contacted him, and after a little while we struck a deal and collected it today. So here we go. So as you can see, it's a 3-door model. The pedestal is missing and the seat, so that is something I definitely want to reinstate. This is a double seat. At the moment the interior consists of 2 singles, which I actually quite like, because then it gives you the walk through. So if any of you have or know of someone selling a pedestal and seat, please let me know. It's also, she's a 5-speed, which is desirable, and with the 1.9 engine, scoots this thing along quite nicely. She needs a little bit of tidying up, but generally very good condition. Been well looked after and not been abused like many of these have in their lifetimes. You know, the door cards, they're going to clean up lovely. Front seats are nice. Dash is uncut. That's going to clean up lovely. Original FM, no, not FM, AM long wave radio. So that would be interesting. I'm going to have to think about upgrading that potentially. But overall, just needs a general tidy up. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to use and enjoy. I think one of the early things I'll do though is change those license plates. I don't like the modern plastic ones. I think I'll go for the pressed metal, white on the front, reflective yellow on the back. It does have the treasure chest that these vehicles come with. There we go, let's have a look inside. This is a brand new door on this side. As you can see, pretty tidy. I mean, I think I'll give it a little bit of a lick of paint and clean it up a bit, but generally really tidy. So I picked it up today, up towards London, drove it back down to the south coast, about an hour and a half, cruised really nicely, coped with the hills. There's only a few minor issues really that I need to address, one of them being the blower motor here doesn't work. Now that could just be this switch. So they're cheap enough, so I've purchased one of these switches already from my friend Alex at Wolfsburg Restos. So I'm going to try that. If that's not working, the motor that sits behind here is only about £30 new, so I'll just put a new motor in it. I think there are some products. There's a company called Slaughterhouse Customs in the UK. They seem to do a lot of Type 25, Type 3, Vanagon stuff, whatever you want to call these things. And I think one of the upgrades they do is, I'm not a smoker, never have been, never will be, so I think I'm going to delete this ashtray, and they do, it's a pod that goes in here and it has an auxiliary port for charging phones and stuff like that. This one doesn't work, so I've got to look into that. That might just be a fuse, something quite simple. It just needs a general tidy up. I mean, it's such an honest truck. It comes with some paint down there where he had the treasure chest door on that side is brand new replacement, and that's a paint that he had mixed up by VW, and it's a good match, so I can use some of that for maybe touching in here. It's had a little bit of work back there. You can see where it's painted black. That to me says there's probably been some welding done back there, so I'm going to get some paint and match that in, whether I use this or if I just get some rattle cans. Door card, it's honest. I did think I was going to replace them, but I think what I'm going to do is take them off, clean them up, maybe put some varnish or something on them to protect them, put all the clips back on, because if you look, most of the clips are missing on that. In fact, that one's only got 2 clips on it, so I think I'd replace all the clips there. And this side round here, I'm pretty certain that piece of timber there isn't stock, so I think that'll come off, and I'll do the same with that. I'll make sure that that door card is tidied up and looks a bit better. But biggest thing back here is the pedestal. I really want that rear seat to go back in, not this one. I think this one, it's definitely for the front, but I think it's for the front. I don't know, that bracket doesn't seem right actually. What is that for? Oh, they spin around. I don't know actually. Maybe I could get that. I could use that for the rear. I don't actually know. Never having one of these Type 25s before, Vanagons. This is all new to me, so I will be going on the samba.com. I'm sure they've got a Vanagon site on there. I know they do actually. So I'll be delving into that and getting myself familiar with the water cool side of things as well. The engine scoots along lovely. I think other than servicing, I'm not really going to do too much to that. I am going to get, I don't know if you can see, but the tonneau cover on the back there, that's just a piece of timber down the centre to hold it up. There's a company in the UK, no longer available, VW, or NLA VW. They sell these like spreader bars which hold that tonneau cover up, stop water pooling on it. I don't know if they're stock. I just think they're a sensible upgrade to put on, so I'll be putting one of them, or I think they recommend you order 2 for a double cab, or 3. I think I'll probably try 2, maybe get 3. The other thing, I don't know if I mentioned just now, these mirrors, notoriously bad on the Vanagons. This one, as soon as you get above like 40 miles an hour, it just dives in on you, so you can't see anything. There is an upgrade that again the company called Slaughterhouse Customs do, where I think they put on Land Rover Defender mirrors, and they come with a really nice stainless steel bracket that goes onto the outside of the door, and then I don't think you use Vanagon mirrors, I think you actually use Land Rover Defender, but then, you know, they look very similar. I mean, it'd be hard to tell really the difference. There is the option of putting truck style mirrors on, which I really like. But I think they stick out a little bit too far. I don't know. And the cost of them, I didn't realise that they're like £200. You know, that's a lot of money. Whereas I think the mod where you can use the Land Rover Defender mirrors, I've got a feeling it's about £80 from Slaughterhouse, so I think I'll be getting in contact with them. There's obviously lots of companies out there that do upgrades for these. I know there's Go Westy in America, so I might be hitting them up for some parts as well. The shifter down here, it's not too bad. It's got the dog leg first, which is over and down here, and then second up there, third back down here, fourth up there and down to fifth. It's not too bad, but I know that Go Westy do some upgrades for that. They do some, rather than rubber bushes, they do some nylon, I think. And there's also an attachment that's billet aluminium that takes some of the slop out. So I think just because I want it to run as best as it can, I mean, this is going to be my daily vehicle, so I want everything to work on it as best it can. So I think that would be a worthwhile update. Definitely putting one of those in. If there's anything else you think I should update, or I want to keep it looking stock. I'm definitely not going to chuck alloy wheels on it. I'm not going to slam it. I'm not even going to raise it. I want to leave it as is, stock rims. I might put some. I'm a stock rim guy, so that's why I wouldn't put alloys on this. I don't think they look good on a commercial vehicle. They never came with alloys, as far as I know. So I think you should keep them stock steels. This has beauty rings on. It's got hubcaps as well. Hubcaps I know it probably would have come with. Not so sure about the beauty rings. They'll stay on for now because they look okay. But yeah, going back to the upgrades or modifications, if there's any that are sensible that you Type 25 Vanagon owners know and think that it would sort of enhance the driving experience, please let me know, because I'm new to this. I've never, in fact, when I picked this up, that's the first time I'd actually sat in a Type 25 and driven it. I didn't even, when I agreed to do the deal, I agreed to do the deal by just looking at it and getting the owner's really nice guy, Craig, getting him to fire it up for me, so I knew it ran. Other than that, it's got a full MOT, so it's good for another 12 months. So it's all licensed. I've insured it now. I didn't have to put any crazy plates on it to drive it home like I did my split screen. So it was all legit and above board. I was pleased. I can't say pleased with the purchase. I'm really pleased with the purchase, actually. It's such a cool little van, truck, whatever you want to call it. Well, if you stay tune in, subscribe and like and comment, there will be more videos about this vehicle for sure. Just a few little videos showing me tarting it up, basically tidying it up, giving it a good buff, polishing things, looking after the door cards, maybe getting a rear seat pedestal back there if any of you guys can help me out, and also just some of the upgrades that are sensible that you guys recommend that I should maybe try and do. And also, if you could tell me where to get those upgrades from, you know, what suppliers and stuff like that. I don't mind buying stuff from across the seas. My squareback, VW squareback, that's an automatic, and I've just had to purchase the master rebuild kit for the transmission on that, and I had to get that from the States. So I don't mind having to ship stuff in from wherever, you know, as long as the shipping's reasonable, which I know it can be expensive. And with the import duties as well, I just got stung for the seal kit. So all it is some gaskets for rebuilding the gearbox. It's I think they cost something like $360 from Cobra Transmission. Well, they've just stung me here for import duty and whatever the nonsense that we now live with. Another £100 on top of that, which I was hoping I didn't have to pay, but hey ho, it is what it is. So I will definitely be putting more content up about this little Vanagon, my little right-hand drive Vanagon Doka. So if you like what you see, tune in next time when I start to make it mine. Thanks people, bye. Right, here we go guys, let's go for a little jaunt. Hey. Non-power assisted steering, driving one-handed with a dogleg gearbox. Let's see how we get on. Let's go for a second gear change. Oh, smashed it. Well, not really, I didn't smash it, it went in perfectly. Tide's on its way out, so that's good. I don't want to get that salt water nonsense on the underside of this. Jeez, these people are whew, that water, we're in the UK, that water now is probably the coldest it's going to be. It's probably only about, that's got to be about 6-7 degrees, something like that. I don't know what that is in old money for you Americans, but yeah, it's going to be cold. You wouldn't want to be in there. buddy. Hi guys and girls, what we're going to do now, we're going to start cleaning up this Doka. So I've just got some general purpose cleaner. I'm going to spray it over the door card, some of the interior. I've got a little detail brush. I'm going to zhuzh it up. Let's see what we can get out of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over the whole panel like that, getting all some nooks and crannies with this brush, and then we're going to wipe it down with a microfiber cloth and see if it's any better. Well, after one pass with the multi-purpose cleaner, they've come up pretty good, to be fair. There's a few little marks here, and I think they're easy going to scrape off with a plastic scraper. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some preserver protector over it. I think Armour will use a product that's pretty good on these internal door cards, so I need to pop out and get some of those, but for now I'll just do a clean with the multi-purpose cleaner, and then we'll come back and put the protector over it, and it should look a lot better. Right, I'm going to tackle the seats now. So what I'm going to use is this brush attachment on the end of a combi drill. It's just an upholstery brush, use it for carpets, but it's also good for doing interiors as well. So spray on some of your special sauce. If you don't have one of these attachments, you can just use a regular brush, paintbrush or a detail brush like this, doesn't really matter. But let's give it a go. Turn the speed down because you don't want it to flick everywhere. So that's perfect for doing the large flat surfaces. Once you've gone over with the attachment, microfiber, clean microfiber towel, give it a wipe down, and that's a lot better already. Right, so that's just had the single pass with the multi-surface cleaner on all the plastic and vinyl parts, and it looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now though is go over with some of this. It's a product I've used many times before, and it gives a little bit of a sheen to the plastics and rubbers and makes them just look a little bit fresh. I'm not sponsored by these people any way, shape or form, but it's a product I used a lot and I get good results with it. So I'm going to crack on, give it a pass, and then I'll show you afterwards. So look at this now and let's see what it looks like afterwards. Well, I've done the buzz over with the Armour gloss finish protectant. As you can see, I think you can see when we get out of the sun, it's got, I wouldn't say it's gloss, it might be on the harder plastic surfaces, but on the rubber and the vinyl it comes up really nice, gives it like a semi-matte or a satin finish. Really pleased, it's coming up quite clean, and I've probably spent about half an hour on it. So for probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half's effort, I've actually got a pretty decent looking truck, fairly clean. Still needs more work, but you know, it is a bit of a project, but I'm pleased with how it's turning up. And I haven't done the rear cab area because I still need to work out what I'm going to do with the seating arrangement back there, and I've got to sort out the door cards. Yeah, I've got to take these off. I think I'm just going to wax them actually to protect them. Put the clips back in, and tidy this area up. Like I said the other day, I'm going to put some paint on this. I've actually got the paint down here that was mixed by VW, and there it is there. So L90D pastel weiß, so pastel white. I can probably get that mixed, shoot it into a gun and finish that bit off. What I don't know though is there meant to be a piece of hardboard or something going on here similar to these door cards? If you could let me know, if anyone knows. And also what I'm going to try and do, since I've got this seat here, this double seat, which I thought it was a front seat. It could be, but I'm going to try and utilise it. It's got the points for the what they called seat belts. So there's a point up there, and there's various other ones behind there. So I could, if I made my own pedestal down below, I could put that seat on, which matches these front ones perfectly. And I think that would look quite cool. And then we'd have a bit more storage here down this side. It's got bits in there at the moment. I haven't even really cleaned it out. I've not done anything to the back here. So yeah, so stay tuned, and what I'll do is some more videos detailing this, cleaning it up. I've got to go and check a load of things over, like I haven't checked the fuel lines yet, so I might be replacing those if they look remotely suspect. What else? I haven't checked the cab floors. In fact, we can possibly check that now actually. I'll come out this side. Let's have a look. I know I've got a little bit of rot in there. They all seem to go down there. That's an easy fix. I'll get the welder out, put a patch in there, put these back on, these cab mats. So let's have a look under here, because obviously if there's some there could easily be some under here. Oh wow, result. Look how clean that is. That's all factory fresh paint there. Oh, beautiful. Well, I think I got very lucky there. Right, going to give the hubcaps and beauty rings a bit of a... So what I've got here is my little AC Delco mini polisher, buffer, whatever you want to call it. A couple of different pads, buffing pads. My clean microfiber cloth. Couldn't find my metal polish, so I just went with some teacup. So let's dab that on. Dibby dabby dab dab. And give it a go. See what happens. Right, go over with the microfiber now. Could use this pad, but I've got the microfiber to hand, so let's go for it. It's a bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I think that'll do for now. They don't need to be perfect. It's a commercial truck. Hello YouTube, back again. Another day, another dollar. And we're working on the Doka again. So today I think what I'm going to do is start to clean out the cab area. So we did the front the other day, but today we're going to probably come and tackle this. So we're going to take all this out, lift that non-standard rubber mat, check the floors because I haven't checked those, and then we're probably going to shoot in a bit of paint, get rid of some of these hillbilly hacks like the piece of timber and the kitchen utensil hanger, and see how we can make it look, see if we can make it look nice. So let's get this junk out of here. Well, I must say it's pretty darn solid in here, which I'm really pleased with. This is all factory paint on here. There doesn't seem to be any signs of corrosion. We've got a few bits of muck over there. What I'll do is I'll come in here with the cleaner. Well, I'll vacuum it out first, then I'll put some cleaner on it and see where we are. See if we need to A, do any rust repair, or B, which I think we're definitely gonna do, is just lay some paint down on the areas, do some rust treatment work on the surface rust, which I hope it is, and we'll take it from there. Well, very pleased with how that turned out. I'll show you down here in a second, but very minimal rust. I got one hole and one tiny little patch. I mean, it might get bigger when I start to delve in with a wire wheel, but if I show you what we've got. So that's behind the board here. There's a hole there, so that's going to be quite an easy repair, I think. I don't know if you can see how big it is. It's not that big. So I'll clean all this up, probably cut that out, let a piece in. Probably won't do it now. I'll wait to later on in case I find any more welding. And there's a pinhole here. I don't know if, yeah, you can just about see it there. Sure, that's probably going to get a little bit bigger. And what I'll do is I'll go along all these seams. I'll get the wire wheel in there, get rid of all that junk in here, lay down some phosphorus acid. I think that's what it is. I don't know, I may have got it wrong. But something that will stop the rust from reoccurring and give me a stable surface to lay down some paint onto, and that'll protect it for however long. All the way down here is pretty good. I've got nothing there. I've just got a bit of clean up around here, but no rust. So really pleased that it's just that piece down there so far. And what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to come up here. I've got some rattle cans L90D pastel white. I'm going to blow that in. It doesn't need to be pretty because I think I'm going to put a board up here or something. Maybe put some sound deadening mat behind there, maybe some insulation, just to just make it sound a bit more solid in here, get rid of this tin canning. So I'll definitely clean all this up here as well, put a couple of patches of bitumen pads, or, you know, I don't need to go and get anything fancy like Dodo mat or anything like that. I can just buy some sound deadening pads, chuck them on, that'll stop that. Up here, I don't know what I'm going to do actually. I don't know whether I'm going to leave that as is, but just blow in paint down here so it looks a bit better, you know, treat it and blow in some paint. Get rid of the kitchen utensil rack, that's definitely coming off. Other than that, I'm really pleased how the interior's cleaning up and what it's going to look like. I've got minimal welding so far. Touch wood, it stays that way. Right, let's see what we can get onto now. Maybe do some paint. We'll see. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack this area of all the surface rust with the old Wheel of Doom. So this is where I find out if any of these holes get bigger. Let's let it go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over this whole area with this wire wheel, and as you can see, I don't know, I can't quite see here, but it's pitted, but there's no real holes. I know I've got the hole over there and one there, but I'm going to do this, then I'm going to lay down some rust converter and then put some white primer down and then the pastel white paint. And it doesn't need to be perfect back here because it's going to be covered. I still don't know what I'm going to do here, but I think I'm going to put down Probably put down sound deadening mat again, and then maybe some insulation, and then carpet this area, or actually maybe some rubber mat. If I can get some rubber mat that's maybe got a similar pattern to what we got in the front cab area, I'll lay that down. But we'll have to see what we can find. Right, so I've cleaned it all up, been over it with the wire wheel. The only cleaner I found that I had in the kitchen was some kitchen cleaner, just to get the grease and the muck off. What I'm going to do now, I've got some rust converter, which I've just poured out into the cap of a paint can, a little 1/2 inch or 12mm brush, and all I'm going to do is dab dab dab, just apply it. And what this does, it neutralises the rust. It ends up changing colour. I think it normally goes black or something like that, and it gives you a good surface to then apply some paint. So what I'll do, looking around in the rest of the cab, and as you can see on here, they've applied like what do they call that, anti or stone chip paint, which they put in wheel wells and stuff like that. So what I think I'll do is, once I've gone around everywhere with this, the rust encapsulator, I'll then put down some primer and then some paint, and in some areas I'll probably put the stone chip down, because it's a tougher paint system, which is in areas where there's going to be a lot of traffic and stuff like that, which this will have, because I'm going to end up putting tools and possibly a seat in here and who knows what else. So there'll be a lot of stuff coming in and out, so we want a good surface in here that's going to be protected. So I don't know if you can see, but it's already starting to change colour. It's going like a darker blue now, and it'll probably end up black. And once that's all dried, it's ready for the paint process. Well, what I've done now is, as you can see up here, I put some rust converter, primer, a bit of pastel white, just to tidy that area up. I'll go over that again another time. This panel down here I've cleaned up, so at a later date what I'll do is I'll put those sound deadening pads on there to reduce the vibrations. Down here I've just had the rust encapsulator down, that dried, so I've gone and put down the primer. I'll put some pastel white over the top of that. That hole at the back, I'm going to leave that for now. Again, when I find, or if I find more welding, then I'll hit that all in one go. So I know I've got to do a bit back there and a patch down here, and there's a little bit there, so I'll probably put a patch in there, patch back there, seam sealer, paint. You'll never know the difference. So that's probably going to be it for the moment. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else today, but watch this space, I might come back. Right, I'm back. Got about 15-20 minutes before I have to go and run some errands, so trying to maximize my time and get as much done as I can. These 15 and 20 minute little projects, they still get it done, but rather than just wasting that time, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to crack on. So what I've got, remember what I said about these door panels, or these door cards, they're the originals. I quite like the wear marks they've got on them. You know, they tell a little story. I've ordered the clips. They should be turning up in the next few days. So rather than replacing this panel, I think it's fine. So what I'm actually going to do is apply some of this stuff. So it's furniture polish. Don't be fooled where it says wax polish black bison. It's not black, I'll show you. It's like a clear colour, and I tell you what, this smells delicious. So anyway, I'm going to start applying that. So I've got a microfiber towel, just going to make a ball like so, run it through the wax and start applying it. What it will do, it will protect this whole panel. It will smell gorgeous, but it will probably darken up these areas where there's no paint, where the scratches are. I don't mind that. I want this to be an honest truck. You know, I'm not trying to hide things, so I'm going to put you down and we'll get on with it. See what you think. So, just like that. Run it round there, get some on your towel, and then apply it in circles. And I think you can see that's already got a bit darker. I think I'll let that dry, then I'll buff it off with a dry cloth. So I'm going to go over the whole panel and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Well, I've just finished applying the bison wax to the door card. Took me 5 minutes max. And I don't know if you can see, but it has darkened where there's no paint. I don't mind that. It does smell gorgeous in here though. So Liberon wax polish, smells gorgeous. Protect your VWs. Now, if you didn't have any wax, you could just varnish it. You could even scuff it down, put some more paint on it. But I want this to show its history. It's a working truck, so I don't mind these little bits of wear and tear. They tell a story. You know, it's been used, and now it's being loved. So you're meant to wait 20 minutes to dry this off, but I'm just gonna give it a little buff, and I'm probably gonna wait about an hour. Oh, it feels nice. Yeah, I'll wait about an hour and then I'll put another coat on. So it will protect it when the doors open, and you know, if it's raining. Let's face it, I live in England. At the moment it frickin' rains every day, and it has done since about September. So that would help it if I'm getting tools in and out or whatever. If this is open and it's raining, it's going to be protected, which it needs to be. Right, the panel for this side, the bigger panel, that was a bit beat up. So what I've actually done, I've taken it indoors and I've laid it on a flat surface and I've put some weight on it to try and straighten it out, because it is pretty bad. I'm doing my best to save it. So I went into the my little workshop. I cut up some ply, some thin strips of ply. They're probably about 25mm to an inch wide, and I think it's probably about 8 or 9mm thick ply, which I'm going to glue to the back side of this panel. I'm going to run, I think I've cut about 6 of them, so I'll cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get the idea, and I'll glue those to the back of that panel, because it's quite a big panel, has no support. With those glued on the back, that should provide some strength there to stop that moving and starting to get all beat up. That was my phone pinging, so I think I must go and run my errands, and we'll try and come back later on this afternoon, and who knows, see if we can work on that panel. Some of it I'll do inside, but I'll show you what I'm doing anyway. Bye. Right, I've come inside now. Frickin' raining again out there. I'm doing most of the work on the Doka on the drive, so when it rains, unless I'm doing something inside, I'm screwed. So anyway, this is that large panel, the interior panel. I don't know if it shows up on the video, but it's not straight. So what I'm going to do, I've cut these strips, 9mm ply, again about, like I said, about 25mm wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these on the back side of this panel, glue them on, and that should add integrity and some strength to this panel. I mean, it has got some damage, but I think I can get rid of most of that, and I think I can salvage this panel. I'd really like to, because I don't think I'd be able to cut and paint one to match the other side. Well, I could cut it easy, but I couldn't paint match it, and I don't want it to look too off. So what I'm going to do, turn this over and see, I might have to clamp the first one sort of down up close to this edge, because I don't think I've got enough heavy weights to glue all of these on and place on top. I'll see how I get on. The board was a bit flatter just now, where I had some weights on it. Now I've taken the weights off, it's gone concave again. I'm sure I can get that out. Okay, let me get some clamps. I think we're going to have to do this slowly. I'll have to do one that side, and say one this side, and that should take the worst of this bellowing out, and then we can work on the ones on the inside by putting heavy weights on top. So, let me go and get some clamps, and we shall see what we can do. Right, I've got my clamps. Don't know what you call these, maybe they're scissor clamps, I don't know, but they've got a good amount of spring on them, but they don't have very deep throats, so that's why I can only do, I think, these two edges to start with, which should lay the board a lot flatter, and then we'll tackle the ones in the middle when I find some weights to go on. So all I'm going to do is set these up, these two near the edge, use a good wood adhesive and clamp these on with as many clamps as I can so that it holds it flat, and then come across and do the other side. If I just drop you down here a bit, so there is some damage just in this corner where there's a tear. So what I might do, once I've actually glued these on across the panel like so, I think I might cut a piece of ply or a piece of MDF or hardboard, and I might glue that on there to provide some strength behind this area that's broken. So it's not going to be seen, and it's just got to add strength to it. That's it. So let me set you back up here again. Hopefully if I tilt you down a bit you can see what I'm doing, and let's give it a go. Right, it would help if I got the glue ready. I need to unblock the nozzle. I'll be back in 1 minute. Right, I'm back. I've applied some glue to my strengthening strip, for want of a better word. I'm going to lay that, only eyeing it, doesn't need to be exact, but I've got to remember that there's this fits onto a trim, not a trim, it fits onto the lip of where this panel sits, and it's got about 10-15mm gap, so I can't come close to that, so I want to be away from that for a bit. So all I'm going to do, something like that, and then put these clips on. I'll put enough of them on, should be plenty strong enough. Like I said, these are, you wouldn't want to get your goujons caught in these, let me tell you. They've got some good spring on them. Lots of different size ones, but I'll just put on what I can, and hopefully this will do. Have to give it, I don't know how long the glue takes, but we're indoors, so it'll probably go off a little bit quicker than it would outside. This is like a polyurethane glue. It's sort of slightly expands slightly, so it's got gap filling properties. Very, very good strong glue. I reckon just even to do this though, if your panels were flatter, you could probably use just PVA glue, you know, wood adhesive. So, well, I think that's good. I suppose you can't have too many of these, so let's put another one on. No, that doesn't fit. Okay, well that's all the larger ones used up, so I'll bring you down here closer. So I think you can see a bit of a gap under that one, so I might try and move that along a bit, but that looks fairly flat. Now I'm going to have a bit of an issue here because that's not very flat, so I might need to change, might need to address that somehow, but for now I think I'm going to leave that on there and see how we get on. It might be that I actually put some moisture on the back of this panel and then apply some pressure with some weights. That might sort it out again. So once this is all done and I've straightened out the panel as best I can, I'm going to flip it over, put the wax on like I did for the other panel that's already in the truck, and that should be much better. So I'm not going to bother filming all of this because you get the idea of what I'm going to do. So hopefully in a blink of an eye it will be done. Well guys, this is part way through the process of trying to flatten this panel out, and what I've done, you saw me put this first one, did I put that one? Yeah, that one's all glued and dried. So what I did after that was then moved on to this one, and I found that my Coke cooler, which is a really old one, is fairly hefty. She's girthy, as some might say. So what I've done now is, it means that I can do 2 of these strengthening ribs at a time. So at the moment I've just done this one and this one over here. This one's loose at the moment, so I'll do that one and that one afterwards. But as you can see, this is that expanding glue. So, and when you look down, it actually does, that panel looks a lot flatter already. So I'm really pleased with the progress. I'm going to continue on the rest of the evening. I'm doing a bit of editing for the video that you're watching now, so I'm trying to get ahead of myself, and I'll see what I can do tonight, and maybe in the morning I'll show you how this panel looks and see if it's going to be acceptable, or if we've got to address some other issues, which I think we might. I honestly think we might have to moisten the back side of this panel to make it a bit more pliable, and then leave weight on it for a few days until it all dries, and hopefully it dries flat. But we'll see in the morning. So until tomorrow guys, bye. Well, it's the next day now, and I've removed the clamps, I've removed the weights. Remember I had that Coke cooler on top, and looking at it now, it looks a lot better than it did. It's not perfect, but I think once the screws are put back in, and once the clips go back in these holes here all the way around, I think it's going to look pretty decent. Turn it over and have a look. Oh yeah, I mean that is a lot better. I think that's going to work just fine. So what I'm going to do now is just going to go over it with the wax like I did the other panel, and for this part of the preservation I think it's a wrap. Well, I've just done the test fit of the panel. I've just fitted it in with a couple of these little machine screws. I haven't got the clips, they're still in the post, but I'm really pleased how it's turned out. So if you look down here now, it actually looks pretty flat. I've waxed it. That bit of damage doesn't look too bad up there. Yeah, looks honest. I've still got the welding to do behind there, but that can wait for another day. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. And I think for now, for this video, that's probably going to be it. I've got a lot more to do on this, so there'll be more videos coming. I've not been through the mechanicals. The bus is running, stopping, driving fine at the moment, but definitely want to check those fuel lines. That's an upgrade I definitely want to do, is get the ethanol resistant lines in, maybe an uprated fuel filter, and there's other things. I'm sure I'll find them along the way, but for now I think I'm going to draw an end to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment. This is all new to me. I'm trying to stop saying in between sentences. None of this is scripted, as you could probably well tell. And when I was editing last night, I realised that I've actually must have a bit of a cold because I keep sniffing. So I do apologise for that. I didn't know I was doing it. But until the next video, guys, take care. Bye.